Happy Twin
Happy
Tuesday.
Twin Tuesday, everyone.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
We are getting so close to the holiday season.
Are y'all ready? So like on your scale, as you're jumping on here, say hi, drop some love. Dakota really loves emojis and stuff like that, and like, you know, we want to make him feel loved and appreciated.
He works
hey,
for
Rhonda.
free.
He works for emojis. I comments.
Yep.
And as you're jumping on, if you're watching replay, drop replay down below because we don't want to miss y'all who jump on later because we understand sometimes you're not available when we go live.
And sometimes you're busy.
So T-minus about like 2 weeks or so, you know, it's getting close to like till Christmas and all the
Roughly.
holiday time.
Roughly 2 weeks. We have 15 days until the official Christmas day.
Ooh. What's
Yeah.
your stress level so far on a scale of 0 to 10? 0 being not stressed, 10 being pretty stressed. Where are you falling?
I mean, I feel like I'm like a 6 in general on most days right now in parent life. Where are you at?
I mean, I don't know. I feel pretty mellow, other than I just went to the post office and the line was like excruciatingly long. But I already bought all my presents because I am an internet shopper and it's done.
Yeah. Are you an internet shopper or are you in-person shopper? I am definitely not really a shopper at all right now because I barely can like be on my phone without him managing it, and I don't want him buying all kinds of stuff without me knowing. So yeah, they come out of the womb basically know how to work those things these days.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So it's Twin Tuesday. What are we talking about today, though?
well, I think we're talking about stress and how to manage through the holidays, but also like this applies to everyone, but I've heard a lot lately in the practice. We've been seeing a lot of moms that have multiple, so more than just one child.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've been through just in the short, almost 4.5 months that he's been here, is how as much as you say or you think like, oh no, like I'll take my time and like I'll give like my self-care and I'll put myself first because if I'm not first, I can't be the best mom for him. That doesn't actually happen, at least not in my world. So I can see that really consistently with moms that have multiples. Ooh.
Yeah.
So what are some advice that we can give to them, right?
Right. So we're going to talk
some
about
things to focus on.
some advice and some things to focus on, which is ultimately always going to boil down to, I think, ultimately like essentially putting yourself first and taking care of yourself, because you can't take care of anyone the way that you need to if you're not taking care of yourself first. And I 100% understand that it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done for me, and I'm one person. I don't have a child relying on me, let alone when you have multiples. But when we do have those moms come in, we see some pretty like common things over and over again, just with how we're educated in our society on birth and rehab and postpartum in general.
Yep.
So we kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit, but some of the stuff we're seeing in our general population as well. So it's not only our postpartum moms that are coming in here, because we have similar stresses, and again, we're just not thinking about how to actually get to the root cause and fix them.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I love this topic because it does apply to moms a lot of times, but oh my gosh, like everyone is really feeling the stress a lot during the holiday season. But around this time of year, we're getting to the end of the year, you know, you have all kinds of things going on financially, emotionally, physically. And so it does really apply to everyone. And that makes sense when we see the patients that come into our office, because we don't only see moms, we see a bevy of different people. And they have increased stress at this time of year. They have more aches and pains or more problems. And I think that's just really important to note and to be aware of, because there is a healing process that happens, and there are some things that you can do outside of like what we provide in these four walls. Sure. And maybe we'll give you some tips that you can start thinking about that you're not currently doing that would be easy, or just to be able to like dabble into your week, not even daily, but into your week here and there.
I would say, like, if we're going to touch on some of the things that we do see for especially moms of multiple children, especially if they're close together, kind of in age, it's a lot of like energy, which we get, like the not sleep thing, but energy and nutritional like deficiency changes that manifest in our health, like autoimmune conditions, brain fog, tired, like sleepiness, like all like those type of categories. Because when you grow a baby, it takes a lot of nutrients. When you bring baby earthside and you're supplying food and you're breastfeeding and feeding baby, it takes a lot of nutrients. Not only are you providing for a growing child, but now your body is trying to rehab and rebuild itself during that time. And then when we look at getting pregnant again, like most of those deficiencies aren't showing up to like 2 to 3 years later in women. Mm-hmm. So then like you're going, I'm not saying this is the case for everybody. Of course, every case is different, and this is not 100% like medical advice. Like your case, you would have to talk to with a doctor. But you're seeing them go in like 2 to 3 years later, and they're not necessarily looking at, are you postpartum? Did you breastfeed? Are you getting, like, did this happen 2 times in a row close together? On how we're going to address those deficiencies and how that's manifesting in your body.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's be real, like with pregnant moms or with postpartum moms, especially with multiples, and people in general with high stress, you're not sleeping. And to heal your body, you need good quality, multiple hours of sleep. So even if you're doing all of the good things, but you're still not sleeping, you still have this uphill battle because your body's not repairing and making healthy new cells and doing what you need it to do.
We heal the most when we sleep. So if we're not able to sleep, and not like, I'm not talking cat naps, I'm talking like legit sleep for like 7 to 8 hours. I know every person's a little different, but if you're not getting that uninterrupted, like quality sleep, you're just not, like, that healing that you're trying to do, you're leaving a massive component of that on the table. There's just no way that can happen.
Yeah. No, and I can talk to you about that all day. I feel it. I know that that's going on. I had some blood work ran. That's one of the main contributing factors, is that there's a huge lack of sleep for me. I'm definitely not getting multiple hours in a row that are uninterrupted. So I not only feel tired, but I do have things going on, and I've never had, like, as far as like pain and discomforts before. And it's been a long, slow healing process because my body's not repairing when it sleeps. So that is a major contributing factor. And I mean,
but what's the reality? What's the reality for our, like, postpartum moms? Like, the reality is you could have those markers show up, or you could have that brain fog, and you could have those nutritional deficiencies or autoimmune conditions starting to rear their head. And we talk so much about giving yourself grace through the postpartum period on rehabbing your body just with fitness, because we're so driven to that in our society, and there's nothing wrong about wanting to look and feel good in your body. But what about the other parts that come into it, and giving yourself grace with that? Because what's the reality? Right now, are you going to go home and for a week be able to sleep for 7 to 8 hours straight uninterrupted?
Girl, that's all I'm asking for Christmas from Santa. I don't think he's going to bring it to me. Somehow I made it on the naughty list. No, I'm not. But I will say, like, at lunch today, instead of doing the dishes that needed to be done and folding the laundry that needed to be folded, I took a nap because he slept and I just really needed to sleep. I was really feeling just burned, just run down.
If y'all know Dr. Johanna personally, that is huge. So if you're watching right now, or when you're watching the replay, drop some, like, major emojis down there, because this girl does not do things like that. Like, she makes sure all the dishes are done, all the clothes is folded, all the laundry is done, like, all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and all of that before she will ever do anything like take a nap. So the fact that she did that today is massive. And I think it's great because it shows, if you're anybody else out there watching this, anyone, whether you have kids or not, and you're like that, you can do that too. Did the world stop turning?
No,
it still turns.
No, still have to wake up, and there's still a baby there, and still responsibilities, which is good. Yeah, which is what we want. But I just had to. I mean, I was just so run down.
Yeah, and that's okay. You're allowed to take care of yourself. You're allowed to let the dishes sit there for a little bit longer, or you're allowed to ask somebody to come over and help you do the dishes, or you can hire somebody. Like, wherever you are, there's always options.
Yes.
You just have to be okay with accepting and asking for help and doing them. Yeah, which is ultimately your choice. So,
100%.
Yeah. So, what are some other things? Do you want to talk about the physical side real quick that we see a lot of, like, I would say in a lot of, like, postpartum moms, especially with, like, fitness, especially we see this a lot. Absolutely, if they've had more than one baby, or they've been pregnant more than one time, I should say. And this is interesting though too, because a lot of these things kind of go hand in hand with our patients with low back pain as well, who have that, like, core stability that's been changed. And when you're pregnant, your core function and connection in your pelvic floor at some point just are going to be compromised because of the pregnancy and making room for baby and all that stuff. And our bodies are designed to do that. But postpartum, when you're having aches and pains, which honestly are pelvic floor dysfunction, which might not show up right away. It might not show up where you even notice symptoms after your first birth.
That's what I was going to say. I think a lot of times it's missed because we're not trained as a society to know that those are things that are abnormal, or even though they're common, they're not normal. So we don't ask our providers and we don't check up with it. Like I was telling Dr. Madeline that through my experience, I was very thankful for her and Dr. Keeley, who's an amazing pelvic floor PT in the area. So, oh my gosh, we forgot to tell you all where we are. We're in St. Petersburg, Florida, and she does she does telehealth. So, but anyway, hey Harold, talk about your favorite subject. But if I didn't have the evaluation through those two, I think there would have been a lot of things missing. Meaning, like I would have probably already went back to running. And I think that would have been a major problem and mistake, and I wouldn't have known that the things I was feeling with my core and pelvic floor would have been really abnormal. I would have just been like, well, I guess this is what it is like after baby, and I just have to deal with it and suck it up. However, working with both of them, I know that the things that, the feelings that were going on were not normal, and how to properly ease back into that process to slowly recover and to slowly get back into running where it wasn't too much and cause all just different problems like that. So to me, that was like amazing. But if I know more than the average bear because of the industry that we're in,
sure,
and I'm more, I don't mean this in a mean way, I am connected with my body and a different way than a lot of people are too. So I think these things go on and women and men have like no idea. Like they don't know
they're
that's
not
not
taught to be connected or to think about it.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the whole physical aspect is huge, and being able to like get in to do some sort of working out or some physical activity to manage stress is amazing. I mean, there's research out there that shows that does wonderful things for depression.
Oh, it's way better for depression than actual medication.
Yeah, and it doesn't come with the black box label on it. So, I mean, exercise and physical activity is great. Listening to your body and knowing your limitations and ways to be active in a healthy manner is also very, very, very important.
Right. Now, again, we just like touched on that a lot of what we see in our society is that like there's not proper information out there for our mamas on how to rehab safely and intentionally postpartum. I understand wanting to feel strong again and to feel at home again in your body and to get back to where you knew your body at before baby. The reality is that you made a human and you brought the human earth side, which is so cool.
Yep.
This is your body's different now, and that's okay, and it's okay to want to rehab and get through that. But trying to lose as much weight as possible and ignoring those signs or symptoms isn't really a safe way to do it. And I mean, at the end of the day, you are a mom now. You have a awesome human that wants you there and wants to be there with you and wants you pain-free and injury-free and all those things. So
slow is fast in regards to physical healing and from any injury or anything going on with that.
Slow is fast. Give your body grace, lots and lots of grace in that time, which again is easier said than done. Like it is hard to take a step back and to be like, okay, this is like where I'm at right now, and it's okay that it's taken me a couple extra weeks or whatever to get to that end goal or months, and that there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope, definitely nothing wrong with that. So what's next on the list?
Well, I just want to hit on that because a lot of times when we see our mamas come in on their second or third pregnancy, they do typically have, we just see that they have more pain and dysfunction, and always when asked, like, did you see a pelvic health physical therapist for women specific after? And it's just so taboo here in the States, and we're working on that and changing that, that the answer is no, which means that there was dysfunction there because most of us have it even before we have or get pregnant or have a baby, which means it just got worse over time after time after time.
Yep.
So if you're in that boat, we have great resources for you. Even if you're not local in St. Pete, we have resources, so reach out and let us know.
Yep.
So as you're going through the holidays, whether you're pregnant or postpartum, a lot of this is still applicable because just stress is higher in the holidays. So what are some, let's give them like 3 easy tips they can do. And then we're closing out. I have a cool announcement for you.
Get your sleep. So disconnect, turn off electronics and all those things with blue light, which can be computers and TVs and different things, cell phones massively, to get into that sleepy state so you get some good quality sleep over the holiday season.
Sleep.
Drink plenty of water.
Lots of water.
Yep. Stay hydrated because you're increasing your toxins during this time through foods and alcohols and just different things. So you want to make sure you get lots of water in so you can flush that out properly. Do some sort of movement.
Doesn't have to be you killing yourself at the gym by any means, just a movement. Move well, move with intention, have pleasure out of it, like enjoy actually doing what you're doing, and that's going to get you way further than anything else with movement. And then I would say some sort of like gratitude, like stress management. Definitely practice some gratitude right now and work on that.
Yep.
That cool?
That's cool.
So everybody can do that.
Everyone can do that and lay it out there. What do you have going on?
with the holidays coming up for our pregnant and postpartum mamas, I have I'm running a special on fitness training for y'all. So if that is something that you're interested in, you are going to message us or comment down below, and I will get with you and I will get you all the details and connect it with that so we can get you started. It's intentional. It takes into account what you've been through with pregnancy, and if you're pregnant now or postpartum, and how to do that properly and safely. It's fun. It's quick. It can be quick. It's easy to access and do, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm doing it, and she does a great job at detailing what I have going on and putting the workouts together, and sometimes I do them, I'm like, oh, I mean, like, this is nothing, and then I really feel it later in the day. So, with that being said, she's amazing, so sign up if you're interested, and we will get you signed up.
Yeah. Until next time, guys, we hope you have a great Tuesday. We have patients coming in the door who are telling us our time is up because they want adjusted, which is always fun. So
and next week is the last Twin Tuesday of the year.
Last Twin Tuesday of the year, next week. We have an email coming out. We have holiday hours. We're here this week. We're here next week. We are shut down for the week of essentially Christmas. We're here on the 30th to jam-pack all of your adjustments, and then we'll see you in the new
Monday to 30th, we're going to be bringing in the roaring 20s. Maybe Dr. Madeline will dress up if you want her to. So make sure you get in here, schedule your appointment, so we're bumping and busy that day. We'll make it a party. You'll be super fun.
Awesome. Have a good day.
Bye. See you next week.
Say bye.